Hi, friend. Have you ever dreamed of leaving the city behind and starting fresh on a piece of land? Building your own home, growing your own veggies, and living a more independent and sustainable life? For the past few years, that's exactly what my wife and I have been dreaming of.
It's not a dream anymore. We actually bought this land and we are full of plans to transform this little piece of land into our home. This is our story. Last few years I've been living in beautiful Poland with my family. We settled down about 5 years ago and this is where our journey started, to find a place which is right behind me. Let's go down.
You might be wondering, who am I and what brings me to Poland? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Mark, and originally I'm from Hungary. But when I was young, I decided to step out and explore new places. I left my home country, and ever since I never looked back. Long story short, I fell in love with a Polish girl, and the next thing I knew, we were moving to her home country with a small kid laying down in my arms. I remember my grandparents telling me stories about the strong bond between Poland and Hungary, and I guess I took that a bit seriously. Poland has been an amazing place to live so far, and I genuinely love it here with zero regrets. To be honest, I never imagined I would end up in Poland, let alone in the middle of nowhere trying to track down some random villagers and try to convince them to sell their land to me. It's just fun.
Before we started searching for land, we sat down with my wife and we discussed the most important aspects of our family's needs. But before we dive into that, let's head home because it's getting late and it's gonna be dark really soon. See you there.
At the start, we had so many needs that we thought were must-haves, and we cannot exist without those. We got used to fancy services you're getting in the city, but at the end, we lowered our expectations, and honestly, it just felt so good. People's needs are always different. Some prefers A and some prefers B, but we agreed on these six key things that were essential for us. Everything else just didn't matter that time, and this is how our search began. Number 1. The field needs to be at least 3000 meters square, and we won't even consider anything smaller than that. Our future plans involve several exciting projects, and they will require plenty of space to bring them to life. Second point is distance. The line should not be further than 1 hour by car from Warsaw to keep in touch with friends and family, and if you really want some social life or go to cinema or whatever, 1 hour is still alright. The third point is doctor. Because our kids, we needed to have some medical services close by within like 30 minutes. The fourth point is school. As our older kid is about to go to school, we needed to make sure we have one close by. The legal age to get into school is 7 years old in Poland, so that was actually quite important for us. The fifth point is a shop. Well, I know it's pretty obvious, but not to travel hours during the week just to get like basic food and stuff. So yeah, we wanted to have something close by. And the last point is internet connection. It is crucial when it comes to my work and uploading videos on YouTube. We are in a lucky situation because there are options in Poland when it comes to satellite connection. After a while, we found what we were looking for. Or are we? Not quite, but it's pretty close to our original expectation. For our surprise, we were lucky enough to buy a land over 7,000 meters square instead of 3,000. Looks like the time invested into this project is paid off, because after nearly 3 years of searching, we found an affordable place which fit in our budget. Of course, we were so happy to buy a huge land like this. Additionally, all other criteria boxes had been ticked. Distance from Warsaw was less than an hour. School, doctor and shops all are within 5 minutes by car, and the internet signal is pretty strong around this area. Overall, really happy for this. At the beginning of 2024, we signed the papers for the land purchase. It felt amazing, and for the first time, everything started to feel real. We couldn't have been happier, but at the same time, that was when we truly realized just how massive this project was going to be. We had a rough idea of how we wanted things to go, but once we had to dive into details and plan everything step by step, it became a little overwhelming and definitely more expensive than we had imagined. At first, our plan seemed simple: build a small house and do as much as we could do ourselves to save money. Once the house was finished, we would have a place to live and we wouldn't have to drive an hour from Warsaw each time. We knew it was going to take a long time to build our house, but we were determined to do it ourselves, not just to pay someone else to do it for us. Plus, we didn't have the budget to hire contractors for everything, so we had to figure out every possible way to save money. Of course, building a house is never a two-person job, especially when you have two kids running around you. But we stayed hopeful and we kept pushing forward. Another challenge we faced was the need for tools. We didn't have everything we needed, so we had to buy or borrow the tools to make the house building process possible. Through it all, we were lucky to have our family by our sides, and we could always rely on them when it came time for help. Their support made everything just a little bit easier. Our plan for this YouTube channel is to build a community and keep you updated on the progress of our farmland as we transform it into something special. We have loads of plans, from having animals up to digging a lake, gardening and many more. Most importantly, we would love to learn and experience new things. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel please. We can't wait to share more with you. See you in the next update.